cast on another 23 for the left. It's been so long. It's been 2 years since I've actually made a Phrancko sweater.
What sweater are you making? The one for your knit along?
One of them, the complicated one, and Sika's doing. I mean, not Sika. Serena is doing the a little less complicated one.
So what is complicated about a Phrancko?
Oh, it's not the Phrancko. It's just I'm doing it in 4 colors. This one.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fun.
So, you know, it's actually pretty slow doing the intarsia, and I have a little problem with my tension sometimes, going from the garter back to the, must be back to the purl, on the purl side. From purl to garter, probably. Yeah, that's what looks like knit.
That's a crazy technique.
Well, it's fun. I always wanted to do vertical stripes like that. Huh?
Yeah, that it is fun. I got more things that I've got going that I just need to finish what's on my plate.
Yep.
And then pick up again before I start anything new. Yep.
I told Serena I'm going to have everything ready and done way before the next knit along. Now that I'm retired, I'm you know, catching about done fighting fires. Yeah. Because that's how it was when I was working.
Hey, Cedra.
Hi, Cedra.
So I was doing my Portuguese knitting, and I was wondering how I could possibly do the Argyle sock in Portuguese knitting. I think I'd probably need the knitting pins rather than
well, you could drape it over your neck.
Yeah.
But the pins I think are easier, but you're using for the Argyle, you're not using the 2 yarns at the same time like you would for stranding, right?
Well, you are, because it's intarsia, right? So it's not stranded. So being intarsia, there's a lot of bobbin work, and I think it'd be more effort to move up and down off of pins. Probably classic.
Or you using 2 pins on both sides, on each side.
Well, but where you're in the rounding, you got 4 colors. The colors need to kind of hang.
Yeah.
I don't think it lends itself well. Hey, Judith.
Although,
hi, Sumner.
Hi, Judith.
Andrea Wong shows, you know, on her 2nd episode or something like that, or she does her Peruvian knitting, and they're using multiple colors. I don't know.
Yeah, I've done multiple color with Portuguese, but not intarsia. It's fine with stranded work.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really accomplished intarsia well, which is why I'm not doing your cardigan, Kathy.
Oh, well, you know what? Joellen's doing it all in one color.
Okay.
So you can do it in one color. So, you know, if you don't want to do all that intarsia.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
But
hi, Jenny.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Are we all right?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good.
I was thinking about you this week, Jenny, because of the word pants and trousers. And every time I wear my capri that I crocheted. Nope.
Right. Yes. Crocheted pants just brings up the wrong image to me, but there you go.
That is very funny. So so pants to you are like pantalon?
No,
sorry,
pants are underwear. What you wear under your trousers.
Okay.
Okay, yes, that's what pants are.
That's funny. Oh, I love it. How far outside of London are you, Jenny?
About, so it must be about 50 miles, 60 miles, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and with the way that England is with trains, you must have a train that goes into London.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they go about every half hour to every hour.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, what county are you in?
I'm in Hampshire.
In Hampshire. Okay.
Yes, yes. I have to
Okay.
think about that because we've not long moved, so I keep thinking I'm somewhere else.
Yeah. That's fun. That's
Yeah.
fun. Okay. Because I'm still doing everything I can to try to get there. And
Oh,
I'll let
cool.
you know when I solidify some things and see.
Yeah.
Mostly it's scheduling, like with work scheduling.
Yeah.
I would hate to have to put it off because I would love to put London on my Christmas cards.
Oh, I say, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, eat your heart out, everybody. Yeah.
Mhm.
Are you working on getting it scheduled with your husband so you can both go, or are you just going to take off?
No, me and him,
Nice.
me and Chuck
Yep.
go to London for a week. He's never been. I just adore it. I would love to pick up a show if there's something in the West End.
Yeah.
I would love to see Sweeney Todd in the West End.
That would be
That
fun.
would be brilliant.
Yeah. Have you been to the Royal Albert Hall?
No, I have.
Oh, that's worth going for music, whatever your type of music is. It's amazing acoustics there. So if you
Yeah.
like, I don't know, whatever genre of music you like, they have most of them there. So,
Yeah, I've seen Adele sing at Royal Albert Hall. Just
Yeah.
unbelievable. But
Wow.
of course, I wasn't there. I saw it on video, right?
yes, yeah.
So yeah,
That would
just
be
fun
cool.
stuff. And I didn't get tickets to the Eye the last time, so I would love to get tickets for the Eye before I go.
I've never been on the
You
Eye.
have to get tickets for that.
They're not expensive. It's just it's so popular that you've got to get tickets days and days in advance, or you're never going to get on.
Yeah.
So
I saw it the last time, but we didn't think about going up, and we didn't have tickets anyway, so.
yeah, and get some good fish and chips and mushy peas. Love the mushy peas.
You do? I'm not too keen on those.
Oh, I love the mushy peas.
My
So
thing is
yummy.
fish and chips. I love fish and chips.
Yeah, the mushy peas, they kind of cut through the grease, you know? You're gonna need something fresh to cut through the grease.
That's what beer is for.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I love beer.
Yeah, okay. Okay, girls. Funny.
Where is everybody today? Hardly anybody's here.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's a holiday
Frank's
weekend.
not here. Oh yeah, it's holiday, right?
How come it's a holiday for you too? It's a
Labor Day.
holiday here.
Yeah, Labor Day.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I thought it was not. Sometimes we're not synchronized
not in
with our.
sync.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly not. Is it
Yeah.
Labor Day there too?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's Labor Day in Canada. Yeah.
It's Labor Day for me every day.
Yeah. Does that mean you're laboring every day, or are you free from labor every day?
Second one.
But
A
I like,
lady of leisure. A lady of leisure.
yeah, I'm still working on that one. What I love is the Boxing Day holiday. We should have that here.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we do not.
Do you not? Is it straight back to work after Christmas?
Straight back to work on the 26th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if
Yeah.
you work retail.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Boxing Day in Canada and in the UK. Just a day to take your breath, just to catch up a minute and, you
Yeah.
know, maybe clean the house and get the company out.
Well, most of the shops are open now here on Boxing Day. So
Yeah.
it's not so much of a, it's more of a traditional for the sales now to start on Boxing Day.
Right.
So like the big place, the posh shops, the Harrods and the places like that start their sales on Boxing Day, and it's absolute pandemonium.
Mm.
I'm sure.
Uh,
Yeah, I would like to go into Harrods this time. I did not go to Harrods last time.
oh, okay.
It's the only place that I've ever seen carry grapefruit marmalade.
Oh no,
Which-
you can get that
Oh,
quite often, grapefruit marmalade. Yeah.
just delicious.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess you have to like grapefruit, huh?
No, no, but it's so it's like I never have grapefruit in the house ever. But boy, grapefruit marmalade is just wonderful.
Just
Anyway.
marmalade with a bit of a kick. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've been feeling a little down on my knitting lately, and I'm just like, I've been making stupid mistakes, and I'm like, oh,
We're on the same.
are we?
vibe. Yes, we are.
Oh,
It costs time.
Are you
You're
the
still doing your
yoke?
yoke sweater, Judith? You're still doing the yoke sweater?
Well, I'm on a break. Frank noticed that his own yoke doesn't fit as well as he wants it to. So he wants
Oh, okay.
to still modify the pattern, but
Mm,
it's okay.
right.
I wasn't very far away. I was trying to find the color pattern or
Yes.
stitch pattern to fit into those dimensions, and I was not really good at it. So Katie hats how do you say that? Hats
To the
off.
rescue. Yes.
yeah.
Chapeau.
Yes.
Sumner, you've done the drop shoulder or this saddle shoulder, right?
Yes, yes.
So how many stitches are generally, or have you had between the front and the back on the shoulder?
So when you join them,
Yeah, the stitches going down the shoulder.
it completely depends on the gauge of your yarn. I've done 2 of them. I don't know, I'm thinking like 23 stitches
Okay, and you're
Like-
using,
to connect them.
not connect them, but I need to, if I want to do a pattern going down the shoulder,
Oh, here?
yeah, just going from here.
That completely depends on your gauge of your yarn and the size of your shoulders.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something that there's gonna be no standard number, I don't think.
Okay,
Just because one of your measurements is from the center of your neck bone in the middle of your back to your wrist. So the width to your shoulders, right? Yeah, I don't know.
my idea is to have the pattern go all the way down the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do that.
So I-
Yeah.
It's about
I
2
find the
inches.
pattern I like.
Yeah, 2 inches wide is what Frank does.
Okay, that'll give me an idea then.
Yeah,
Ah.
so whatever repeat that you start with widthwise,
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, how many stitches.
Oh,
I
I was thinking lengthwise,
no, length I don't care about.
like, yeah.
The width, yeah.
Um,
So if he figures out 2 inches, I could figure that out then.
it's like 16 stitches,
Okay, that works out perfect.
probably, right? Like on a DK, I would think 2 inches, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a little less.
Okay.
Probably.
Ron.
budget to- Hey, Ron.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
I like what you're wearing. What are you wearing?
Oh, I say that's jazzy.
Oh, a little
Wow.
Captain top
Love it.
thing.
Those colors suit you. Well, yes, suits you.
Love
I
it.
tried to make myself look more like a living human being for
Uh-oh.
classes today.
Have you been working on the stage?
Only incidentally, but all of my this last round of summer fall classes have started at the shop. So I've been
Ah,
teaching since 10 this morning.
Oh my goodness.
2:45 now. Ugh. And I had a lot of lessons earlier in the week. And then you put up the group classes and then suddenly everyone wants a private lesson.
Uh-huh.
So it's been quite a week.
Well, better to be busy.
Yeah.
Especially when they're paying.
Yeah, I think my rates are about to increase.
Did you say increase or decrease?
Increase.
Okay. You know, knitting, increase, decrease.
Oh yeah.
Oh, very good, yes. How are your
Yes.
group doing that we're doing the Phrancko sweaters?
Yeah.
Oh, someone just called and is going to come in tomorrow to share her progress. She said she's just starting her sleeves, right, Tim?
Oh, lovely.
Hi, Tim.
Hi.
Hi, Tim.
So we'll see how she's doing. The others I haven't heard from in a minute, but they work through things as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So has everybody got past the difficult bit of the shoulders at the top? Have
Yes.
they?
Yeah. The rest of them are left just sort of doing their
Round and round and round.
on the
bit.
bodies.
Yeah.
Ron, I was not successful with my yarn, you know, that was, I don't know, there was too much dye on it. I don't know how
Oh,
to
yeah,
call
you
it. It's
kept
not
running.
over dyed. That's not over dyed. It's,
Yeah.
how do you call it when there's too much dye?
Too much dye.
Mhm.
I was looking for a fancy word.
No.
But yeah, I was not successful. I tried with the alum, which was not easy to find. I had
Yeah.
to buy it on Amazon. I've went into 5 grocery stores. They did not know what I was talking about. I could not find. Yeah.
Right. So it
So
never
anyways,
stopped. And it
so
bled
that-
out into the water and everything. It just
it
never
did.
stopped.
It did, but and I let it dry, and now I'm using it, and it's still my hands are still a little blue, and
Mhm.
the yarn is so dusty. It
Yeah.
leaves dust on it. It's so not nice to work with.
Gosh.
So I could make 1,000 pom-pom and invent something, and
Right.
I tried a couple and I went crazy. So it's in a bag, and I
Wind it
never,
around some cute styrofoam balls and put it in a fruit bowl.
I don't have a fruit. Well, I have a fruit bowl, but it's full of
For fruit.
fruit. I'm not, but I appreciate the suggestion. But it will be, you know, I have not knit for that long time, but it will be the first time that I will put yarn to the garbage. It's terrible.
Oh dear.
Lesson
Well,
learned.
where did you get this from then? Was it off the internet?
No, it was at Knit City, Montreal.
Oh,
You
Yeah,
couldn't
she
return it?
she gave me the seller gave me a credit,
Oh, that's good.
which does not cover the full price of the yarn because I already had used it, and I'm not gonna mention her because it's not nice, but I don't think she should have sold this yarn at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. What do
Natural
you
dyes
think?
are very, very difficult.
Boy,
So-
that's a
sorry?
shame.
Sorry, Ron, that would,
Yeah, natural dyes are very, very temperamental,
yes,
difficult to work with. There's a shallow learning curve. So if you don't know what you're on about, mistakes are easy to make, and it doesn't stay on.
it was
And
such
the
a big,
amount of dye stuff that it takes to dye something with natural dyes, very easy to
to
get
overdo
effects
it.
like that. Yeah.
Oh, we, okay. Well,
but if
I
you're
know,
selling at a show, you should. If you're selling at a show, you should have used it and tested it to make sure that it, doesn't bleed and things like that. That's bad selling it at a show, I think.
Mhm.
yeah. Well, she did mention that she does not work with that dyer anymore. So that's one good thing, maybe.
Yeah.
So, in other words, you're not the only one this happened to, probably.
Surely not.
Yeah, probably not.
That's too bad.
It is. Thank you for crying
Yeah.
alongside with me. It,
Yeah, no,
Yeah, we all
we've
feel
got-
your
we've
pain.
got, we've got a big garbage bag full of yarn that we dyed up that we were attempting to a line we were adding, and we were testing this yarn and found out that it was not light fast. Putting it out in the sun long enough to block caused it to fade substantially.
Oh my
The
gosh.
yarn just did not, and this is a dye I've used on other wools, and it works fine. It's color fast, it's light fast. It wasn't the dye, it wasn't the way we put it on. We did the same thing as anything, but it was not light fast. Being in the sun for minutes,
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
created the cyan.
Wasn't it that there was like a lot of lanolin in the
So-
yarn?
Well,
and
all
the
the-
dyer that we've stopped working with.
We had
I mean, a producer.
I had soaked the lanolin out, and the other colors were light fast. It was just the cyan pigments.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So everything, all the blues leached out in
Oh.
the sun.
oh,
So they live in a garbage bag next door
Yeah.
somewhere.
my husband was asking me, is there a way to remove the dye? Well, I said, maybe most of it will come out, but it would still be a grayish or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
So,
Probably leave a
is-
trace. Yeah.
yeah, just,
How much of it did you have?
three skeins of 110 grams.
Oh,
Well,
Quite a lot.
better than
It's
a
not-
whole sweater, I suppose.
It's enough. Well, it's enough
Oh,
for a
is it a
sweater
light
for me.
yarn? Yeah.
No, it was supposed to be DK, and I was never able to get more than 20 stitch, even with a smaller needle. So it's more a worsted than a DK.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's better than a whole sweater for me.
We, of course,
You
of
know,
course.
1.5 kilograms of yarn.
Not quite. So, Ron, I've got a yarn question for the
What is it?
store owner. So I've seen a 100% silk come into one of my local yarn stores.
Uh-huh.
Very intriguing because what a beautiful fiber.
Yeah.
However, have you ever knit it?
With
I'm
100%
thinking,
silk.
I'm thinking that could be like knitting string, like
Yeah. Do
could
you
have
know
no
which?
give at all, right?
No. Well, depending on the silk and the way it's made, there are silks that do have give. But certainly not compared to the same yarn in wool or even cotton. Because it's got long strands. But if it has silk noil in it, it could be very delicate. But if it's a long, shiny, lustrous yarn, then probably not. Do you know what yarn it was?
I can easily look. No, I can't easily look.
You can easily look. That doesn't mean you can easily find.
I can't easily find it. Yeah, so I mean, I know there's just too many variables, but I've never seen 100% silk.
Yeah, I had a 100% silk called Traumseite, which means dream silk, which is a lightweight, nearly lace weight silk, but it didn't really go anywhere. It just kind of hung out here, being 100% silk yarn, and people would pick it up and go, "Ooh, 100% silk." Bye. Let's see.
Yeah, it was DK. So
Yeah. Oh.
So I don't know. I was like, it just seems that could be an awful lot of money.
Yes. Yeah. So, really, for the garments, it will do everything that rayon does. Well, actually, rayon will do anything that silk does. And like viscose, cellulosic type yarns, bamboo,
Yeah.
things like that, because I mean that's what a silkworm does. It munches up plant fibers and turns them into goo.
Right.
So
Right.
literally, like what a cellulosic fiber is artificial silkworms. So all the same things you'd expect from working like a 100% rayon or a 100% viscose from bamboo. Incredibly silk, like sheer. When you knit it, it hangs open. It grows vertically. So, like if you wanted to
Okay.
make a garment out of it, you would need to dress your swatch rather than blocking it traditionally. You knit your
Right.
swatch and then hang it up to allow it to stretch to get the proper
Oh.
like stitch and row gauge.
Mhm.
Because once the weight of a whole garment, it's going to go
Yeah.
and thump.
But at
Uh,
$15, $15 for 50 grams,
yeah.
that
Ouch,
that gets
that's
a little
expensive.
that's a little pricey.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's silk, so it'll be
Yeah.
pricey. Yeah, I was just curious if you knit with it. I was thinking
Yeah, I
kind
have
of
never
anything
100%
like
silk.
cotton, but
It's no different from knitting with like a bamboo viscose yarn in terms of the way it
Bamboo,
feels
okay.
and what you can expect the yarn to do.
okay.
But there were worms involved. That's unfair. There were larvae involved.
Yeah.
Such a
They're
nice.
not worms.
No. It's such a nice picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I had some 100% silk yarn that just didn't go anywhere.
So you didn't sell it?
Mm-mm.
No.
It was interesting to people as a novelty. They go, "Oh, isn't that
Oh.
beautiful?" And then they'd put it down and go find something else that they could work with.
Right.
And the one I had was lace yarn. Because when I was doing my market research, lots of people were willing to lie to me about whether they were interested in knitting with lace yarn. They weren't.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, like I think 2 people in the going on 6 years we've been open have ever asked for lace weight yarn.
Wow.
It's not, I don't know, not a lot of people do complicated lace knitting here. Or if they do, they don't come here.
Yeah, I just don't think a lot of people do it. It takes a lot of skill. It's a lot of time. It's a big commitment of a project.
Yeah. And then you're working with lace weight yarn, and now there's 1,400 stitches per round.
Yeah.
I've got a whole life to live.
I know when I first started knitting and going to the, the knitting store, and you're looking at yardage, right? So I'm going, oh, this has 900 yards to it. This is much better. So that's why I would buy
Boy,
Yeah,
lace.
it does.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, it's dental floss.
And
Yeah.
then what's the heck is gauge? Why isn't this, working in the size it's
Yeah. Man. But yeah, no, silk makes a lovely, beautiful fabric. There's a silk yarn, Alchemy Fiber. I don't know if they're still shipping. I think I don't know what's going on with them. But there's a silk yarn called Silk and Straw,
Okay.
which is like a ribbon kind of texture put up.
Yeah.
And when you feel it in the skein, it feels like raffia, like it feels crispy, crunchy, because there's a sizing in it. So when you work with it, it behaves in a way that's easy to work with. And then once it gets into the blocking water and the sizing comes out, then it's a beautiful, luxurious silk ribbon yarn.
oh,
And so I've worked with that in shawl projects before, and it's gorgeous, but it is like a novelty texture.
Yeah, I was thinking this would make like a nice like cable sweater.
Yeah.
And a tighter gauge,
Yeah, it would have the effect, most likely, depending on the ply, but even without the ply, because it doesn't grip, the cables would want to flatten out. They wouldn't be terribly dimensional, because just they don't grip onto one another. So
Oh, okay.
they will be visible, but in terms of like the way they catch shadows and play in the light, they don't have that puffiness that we
Oh, I
expect.
see. Yeah,
And
because there's
they
no
can
teeth.
get gappy around the edges of the cable crossing, even for very competent knitters, just because they don't fill in that space the way a grippier yarn would when you do cable crossings. Conversely, lace, something with eyelets, they would open up beautifully because they don't
Okay.
want to puff in and hold on to themselves. So
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah, and so textured stitches can look beautiful. You just can't expect them to be not two-dimensional, but two-dimensional, TOO
Right.
dimensional.
TOO. Yeah.
Yeah, they will not very dimensional. Yeah, they
Right.
will be three-dimensional, so you can't expect them to be two-dimensional. But you also shouldn't expect them to have much dimension. That's what I mean to say.
thank you
Perfect.
so
Been a long
much.
day, you guys.
That helps me improve my English, I hope.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Since I'm a native speaker,
So maybe
my-
stock in a tight gauge.
yeah. My niece, my nephew's wife, texted me the other day because she was in an argument with someone at her gym or something about whether you should say more different. Like, how else would you put that? Like-
More different?
Yeah, that's how you would. It may not come up very often, but that's how you would express that. A dog is more different from a banana than it is from a cat. I don't know another way I would express that, but it sounds weird because you just wouldn't say it that often.
Right.
It's certainly not differenter.
No,
Right.
I tried that with East, remember?
Oh yes, Easter. Yeah.
Yeah, and not pack, but
More
east.
different.
Yeah.
No, not back, not
Not pack.
Like
So,
doing the
but-
most different, easiest, or, it's the most, not the most easiest, but when you're putting a more easiest or something like that.
Yeah, a double superlative.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's wrong.
but for the non-French speakers, Pâques is Easter. Christian Easter is Pâques.
Pâques.
Mhm.
So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's the same as Passover,
But not the further east.
but yeah,
What?
right. It's not the
Oh my
furthest east.
Further east. Or
Yes.
or worse, more easterly. Which either means you want your bonnet to have more pastel colors, or it's
Yes.
further to the east.
There you go. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Very funny.
Yeah. So how's everyone been? What's everyone working on lately? I haven't been here.
A sock.
A sock.
Yep.
Socks all around.
Well,
know.
I was showing, since it's a Phrancko class, that I was not twisting my, there's one pearl, make one pearl left
Uh-huh.
that I didn't twist, and it created an eyelet hole. So I'm gonna rip it out. So that made
No.
me happy. I was telling Kathy that, so
Just duplicate stitch over it with a strand of scrap yarn.
I thought of that. It's worst, it's Aran weight, and it's on the shoulder, so too
No.
new. I'm just gonna rip it back.
All right.
So I'm swatching for my saddle,
Oh yeah.
and then I've run out of yarn until I get more from Knit Picks, my daughter's sweater.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's pretty.
Oh, you got that far and then needed more yarn.
lovely color.
So
Yeah.
you have to pay. I had to get a lot more yarn to get for this thing.
Yeah.
I need
That's
a
a lot of
skein. That's all I
sleeves.
need. And they're charging more, twice the amount for shipping. So I had to get more yarn.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's beautiful yarn.
that's how our stash grow,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
One of the ways.
I've got so I've got 3 classes going right now.
You-
An introductory knitting class, an introductory crochet class, and a stranded knitting class.
Oh,
And each of them uses different yarn. So like I had to keep breaking open yarn to do my demonstrations in class. So now it's like to demo this much of a swatch in
Oh,
class.
no.
And now I'll just have these balls of yarn. I may knit more of the hat. I might have to assign Tim to make the hat band, because otherwise I have terrible cast on inertia about the hat model. Just like if I could just get through the hat band, then I could show them the hat. I like these colors together. They're kind of cool.
Yeah, nice contrast.
Yeah. So I mean they look good. So I just started that stranded knitting class for people who've never done it before. And then like I've got a big like here's my skein of yarn for my intro to knitting. Just like it's sitting here. And then I've got a big ball of bulky weight wool that I'm teaching people to crochet with, just sitting around. We are moments away, I think, from receiving our tone on tone Andiamo.
Oh, nice.
We just received a whole bunch of new stuff from Jody Long.
That's fun.
I forget what it is. That was days ago. We did something. Oh, where's the swatch of Aaron Alba or Alba Aaron? On the label, they smush it all together, so it looks like the yarn is called Albaron.
like
Alba
that.
is the sport weight Tweety yarn from Jody Long that comes in an Aran now.
That looks nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's 25% viscose, and the rest is a blend of wool and alpaca.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
Looks good.
this gray
nice
has
stitch
little,
definition. Yeah.
yeah, the
What?
stitch definition is something.
What?
Yeah.
So, you know that shawl net cardigan I have that has like the color blocking at the bottom? It's like
Mhm.
charcoal gray and has color blocking at the bottom. I basically made this by holding two strands of Alba together. And now they're marketing, like they've got it this way. So I just swatched that. But I love the way it feels. It's woolly, but the addition of the viscose and the alpaca, just there's something about it.
It'd be
And I like
so
the
soft.
subtle, but you like
Mhm.
it's little pink flecks when you're up close on this one.
Oh.
But it looks like a neutral gray.
Mhm.
It'd be
It's
huggable
fun.
soft. Yeah.
And look at those cables. I mean, and the seed stitch.
Poof. Yeah.
I've turned yellow. Oh, I'm blue again. They tried to color correct me. Will I turn yellow again?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
So that's what I've been up to. Oh, and I finished. I don't know, was I here at any point where I was working on this Tunisian crochet shawl?
No.
Oof.
I don't remember.
I finished a Tunisian crochet shawl.
Uh,
That's cool.
yes, you showed the part because I remember the
Oh, the grid. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
square. Oui. Wow,
That's cool.
spectacular.
So
What
yeah, that
yarn?
is something.
This is a yarn we dye here. So it's there. Now I'm very bold and graphic.
Bold?
But it goes with your shirt.
Yeah. I
Eh, oui.
I'll give you
Very
some
nice.
faith in traffic. And in fact, we just got 4 new colors of Andiamo Light. And 3 of them are these like bold primary colors. And they just came in. I was like, now I want to make myself a sweater in Andiamo Light with those colors. Get off me.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, so the yarn, the base is made of black and white wool spun together at intervals. So that's where the black bits are coming from. They're literally, the wool is that color.
Oh, fabulous. Oh, that's fun.
So this was fun to make.
Nice.
This was on the floor. This is my, see, I've already made 1 hat for stranded knitting.
Oh, wow.
This is the class project we're working on,
Oh,
which is fun because they walk in and I have like the hat out, like this is the class project, and there's
they're
we're gonna do
scared.
that. Like, don't
Uh-huh.
worry. It's just like any knitting. You do it 1 stitch at a time. It'll be fine. That's what we're here for. But everyone always expresses surprise about that sort of thing. So I think I might be doing my classes wrong, and I should just enroll people in classes for things they already know how to do. It'll save me time. And just like, it would be silly if the requirement for the stranded knitting class was that you knew how to do stranded knitting.
Right. Right.
Like, it would make it easy on me. Yeah, I'll take $80 and I'll be in the other room if you need me.
Right, exactly.
So maybe my next term I'll see if that works as a business model, but I've got my doubts.
This class I'm taking at Shetland Wool Week though, Ron, it's a bookmark with Hazel Tyndall. I just
Uh-huh.
want to ask my questions, and it's, it's Fair Isle technique.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that just about everybody who's taking the class has done it before
Yeah.
because she's famous. So
Yeah.
everybody wanted to take a class with her, you know?
Yeah, just for the
Yeah,
experience of learning
We'll
from that
see.
person. No, there's definitely something to be said for that. Just like, and I've done that myself. Um, when at Stitches, rest in peace, things like that. I would take classes of things that I knew how to do and was comfortable with, but I wanted to see how this or that instructor approached it.
Yeah.
You never know if they're going to have an insight that's never occurred to you before, but also I just like to see how other instructors approach the process of teaching that information and how they present it and how they conceptualize it,
Mm.
which is helpful as an instructor, just knowing how other people think about
Yeah.
things. Like my approach for especially these introductory classes that I've taught enough times to know where people falter.
Mhm.
You know, I know where people get stymied when those first few weeks of knitting or crocheting. And I told the knitting class that I was in, I was just like, you're gonna have problems, like weird things happen. I give them a little pack of bulb stitch markers
Mhm.
and tell them like, make your swatch, these are the instructions, and then just put the stitch markers in the weird thing. And then come and look at the weird thing. And I'll tell you what the weird thing is. And I guarantee you that I could write down what the problems are going to be and put it in a sealed envelope and give it to one of you to take until next week. And that's going to be exactly what the problem. You're going to think it's something that has never happened to anyone and that you're never going to be able to be a knitter. But I guarantee it's going to be these three things. And it happens to everyone.
I have one new student that she wants to run before she could walk,
Yeah.
and she doesn't want to slow down and swatch. Like
Yeah.
you literally just need to know how to knit, and then you need to know how to purl,
Yeah.
and then we can move on.
Yeah.
But until you get that, we
But
go down.
I want a sweater.
Yeah. Oh no, not even a sweater. I want an eyelet shawl.
Yeah.
And that
You'll
way
get there.
you're gonna have enough eyelets anyway, okay? Even
Yeah.
even if you just straight knit, right? It's
Yeah.
just not gonna be where you want them, you know.
I had a last minute class this week that Perrin made the appointment for while Tim and I were out of town with Ziggy, taking Ziggy to his doctor. And I was like, yeah, I've got time to see her on Thursday. Even though I already have a class I have to teach on Thursday and another appointment on Thursday, but if Thursday's when she can come, I'll just wring myself out. And she wanted like an oddly shaped half cap to wear, and she wanted to crochet it. She had never crocheted before.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, this is a 1 hour appointment. And over the course of a 1 hour appointment, you'd like me to design you a strange hat
Mm.
and then teach you to crochet and then teach you to crochet the hat.
Yeah.
I'll teach you to make a chain
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
and a single crochet, and then you can come back next week after you practice and we'll see where we are from there. But like, I'm pretty good at what I do, but an hour while you're sitting and looking at me is not enough time to design you a hat and teach you to make it when you've never touched a crochet hook.
Right.
But
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know
Not realistic.
how things are at your local yarn shops, but crochet is having a huge moment.
Yes, I think so. We hear
I had
much.
to add another introductory crochet class after the two I had this summer. This third one I usually teach on Sundays and Thursdays, and and Saturday mornings. But I had to add a Saturday afternoon session to accommodate the people who like the last class enrolled and they're like, I saw you were offering classes, but this one I missed. yeah, but I don't, crochet is off the
Really?
chain, as they say.
What are they making?
Phone calls to me.
Is it Afghans or is it,
Demands. They're making
like,
demands.
yeah,
um,
Delco.
yeah, some of them are just, they don't really have anything in mind. And only a very few of my classes that are group classes have a class project. Mostly they are skills and technique based. So like, what are we making
Okay.
in this class? Swatches. If you love them, they're coasters. But
They're
they
just cloths, yeah.
will have seen amigurumi on TikTok, and they'll want to make amigurumi. Or like they have it in their head that they would like to make crochet clothing at some
So-
point.
Qu'est-ce que c'est amigurumi?
Amigurumi.
What is it?
Softies.
Hang on, I'll show you.
Oh yeah.
Amigurumi, little
Et
pig.
voila.
Oh, there's your pig.
Oh, that.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
little pig.
okay, we'll
And
stop
here's his
talking.
blanket.
Keep
Here's his
keep
bacon
showing it.
blanket. So this is for Christmas. This is a pig wrapped in a sausage wrapped in bacon. Pig in bacon blanket.
That is fabulous. A pig in a blanket.
Amigurumi is little. That's it. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. This little guy.
So good.
That is
Um,
fabulous.
I mean, this is our little shop mascot.
Oh, okay.
We.
Google.
Okay.
This is the class project for the introduction to amigurumi class.
And
Amigurumi is
amigurumi. What does
like-
it mean?
knitted toy or
Is-
crocheted toy.
Oh, okay.
Ami is knitting or crochet in Japanese. And
Oh,
then
I see. Okay.
Gurumi is a shortened version of stuffed toy. But it's in the Japanese style of crochet. So that sort of pioneered this kind of little doodad.
And most of them are crocheted.
Yes, mostly crocheted.
Oh, that's
They-
fun.
in Japanese, they don't distinguish between knitted and crocheted ami. They're both amigurumi. That language doesn't have a difference between knitting and crochet.
Okay. Thank you.
There's a book on Star Wars amigurumi.
Yeah. Yeah, you see those crop up.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're worked in spirals. They're usually meant to be decorative rather than played with. So like adults keep them on shelves or whatever. You make them of your favorite characters, or you make and they're meant to be like just like little cute things in that kawaii culture way.
Very sweet. Okay, I get it. Thank you.
So and they're big on TikTok, which is where the young folk are coming from. So you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a crocheted possum on TikTok. And they see them and they see the crocheted possum in chenille yarn, and they come in looking for chenille yarn and to learn to crochet a possum or what have you.
Oh, I think we lost Jenny.
Yeah, she went. It was her name for a minute, and then she zooped out. Maybe she had problems with her pig.
That was the cutest thing ever.
We.
Well, I have a
Thing.
knitting question for anybody. It's a lace knitting question. So if I'm doing yarn over eyelets, oftentimes when I'm doing a yarn over eyelet, on one side the holes are bigger than the other side. How do you correct for that?
There are several ways you can correct for that, including one may, depending on whether you want your eyelets to be larger or smaller, and are they eyelets between knits, like on one side of a lace pattern versus
Yes.
the other?
Yes, they're the diagonal type of things.
Yeah.
With
Um,
knit 2 and SSK and
So You can knit one side or the other by yarning over in the other direction
Oh, yes.
and eating either, depending on what you're doing, putting more or less yarn into the yarn over that is bigger or smaller,
Right,
however that works out. Um,
right.
so there's that. You might also experiment with one of the SSK alternate stitches, depending on how much yarn is being drawn into your decrease. And there's a twisted. There are ways of doing a knit two together and an SSK where my glasses started singing to me. That twists the strand underneath. The stitch underneath is twisted. So like you do an SSK, but you only slip the first one and then you knit the two together to the back loop. So the first loop is correct and the second loop is twisted.
Twisted.
That can help prevent drawing yarn into the decrease.
'Cause I think that's what's happening.
Patty Lyons has a good video on that one. On
Who?
the
Yeah.
Patty Lyons.
Oh, okay. I'll look at that.
And like, if you'd like, I mean, I guess it's rare that you would like your eyelets to be smaller.
Yeah, no, it's the one side is, they're too small, in my opinion.
Which side is it next to? Which decreases it tend to be next to that makes them small?
I think it's, I think it's the K2 together. But don't quote me because I don't have it with me. Serena
Yeah.
has it.
Yeah, it may just be that pulling on that first stitch or the second stitch, the one you're inserting into first when you make the SSK, because it pulls over, just drawing yarn away
Right.
from your.
Yeah, the way I'm doing the SSK.
And pulling it
All
into
right, well, good. That gives me something to practice with.
Yeah, wrapping one or the other the opposite way around the needle might be a place to start.
Because when I'm taking a lace class in Shetland Wool Week too, on my
Oh, yeah.
vacation, and I really would rather have everything perfect before I go.
Naturally, that human instinct. I'm gonna take this class, so I better know what I'm doing on.
Better learn it before I
Exactly.
take the class.
Exactly. It's like cleaning the
Yeah.
house before the cleaner comes.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
I'm going to Rhinebeck. I'm so excited at the end of the month.
Is that at the end of the month too?
Yeah, the end of
Oh,
September. Yeah, I'm
you'll
so
have so much
excited.
fun. Are you just going by yourself or are you gonna?
I'm meeting an old knitting friend of mine that moved away like 3 years ago
Oh,
to like
nice.
Tennessee, and I haven't seen her. So we're gonna meet up at Rhinebeck and stay together in a friend's house
Have fun.
and just go to the fair for 2 days. And
Is there like a Rhinebeck sweater this year or
I
something
guess
like
so. There's so many people, so many groups make a Rhinebeck sweater that it's all a different sweater is what I'm seeing. So I was gonna make the Phrancko hoodie for the Rhinebeck weekend,
Yeah, nice.
and I'm gonna wear another Phrancko that I'm making out of that pencil roving. Though I don't have my button sewn on yet, but that I'm sure will be ready by then.
Fun,
Just
fun,
because
fun.
yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I like to see the animal barns, like the
Yeah.
sheep and the alpaca and the llama, and
That's what I like.
I love
We have
that.
one up in Estes Park. It's a tiny little wool festival, but it's so much fun. They have sheepdog competitions.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
And I just love to see all the alpaca because we have a lot of alpaca farms up here in New York and New England.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a thing. And I just think they're the most beautiful, sweetest animal. So yeah, that'd be fun.
I think there's
Looking forward to it.
there's some sheep behind my house.
Hmm?
My parents have some sheep too. I don't know,
Yeah.
there's a menagerie next door to me. But animals creep me out.
My sister said, I used to have some sheep, and she's like, oh, they're so gross. I don't want to touch them. Oh,
Look at their
Oh,
little eyes. The sheep are nice. It's
Uh,
horses that I dislike the best. With those creepy teeth and the eyes. I
horses
don't
are
know
very
about
sensitive.
horses.
Don't let them hear you say that. They're very sensitive.
Well, I don't go to them,
Ireland.
so they're never going to hear me say it.
Ireland is such a beautiful country, but anywhere that there's not 4 square foot of grass, there's a sheep on it.
Yes.
Yeah. Very fun.
There's a big sheep herding culture here. A lot of Basque immigration to this part of California brought a lot of sheep herding culture here. So we get that a lot.
They just get so hot there, though.
Wool is insulating.
I guess so. Yeah, it's true.
Lawrence of Arabia wore a big wool dress. So if it keeps you insulated in one direction, it keeps you insulated in the other direction too. And they're used to it, I guess. And to be honest, I've never asked one.
I
No,
love
no,
watching them get sheared on YouTube. It's very fun.
Yeah, the sheep that my parents have just got sheared a couple weeks ago, because at the coast it's quite cool, and they get sheared later in the year than they would here. And they're still showing people the video. Look at the sheep. Like I think I know where wool comes from. But I'm glad your sheep had a nice day.
That's fun.
I don't know. My father retired, quote unquote, and decided he wanted a hobby farm like the one my sister has. It's like, what are you going to do with all these eggs? You cannot go through this many eggs. What do you? This is too many eggs.
Yeah.
All of my sister's tomatoes just have been fruiting for the last month, and just bushels and bushels of tomatoes, and they're delicious, but like I'm getting lycopene poisoning.
Yeah. But who's gonna do all that canning? Oh, that's a
Right?
lot
Yeah,
of
no,
work.
they did. They just like canned a bunch of sauce.
That's a lot of
Okay, we
work.
can't can any more sauce. I'm sick
A
of looking
lot
at
of work.
tomato sauce. I cooked with a ton of it. If you've never made a Chinese style stir-fried tomato and scrambled eggs, delicious. But there's only so many days you can eat that. I made my own tomato paste.
Wow, that's a lot. That's effort.
And the tomatoes keep coming.
It's too much. Well, it's about 6:30 and I've got to run to dinner, so it's 6:30 here. So
yes,
nice to see everybody.
yes.
See you all next week.
Until next time.
Till next
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
I
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.